Welcome to Thursday Night Fading Suns. I am JM, your GM, and this is my crew. Welcome back to Perpetua, as well as to everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. We are on the Ulysses International channel. If you are unfamiliar with it, Fading Suns is a space fantasy RPG sort of set in the far future, along the lines of Dune and other influences like that. Our group is currently, this is the arc known as the Curse of the Abandoned, where the crew is trying to hunt down and deal with this threat that they discovered back on Antioch. And you have left, when we last left off, you guys had left New Phoenicia and headed to Ravenna, where you did some information gathering, trying to figure out where Phlegethon might be. This planet that was lost, there was some sort of terraforming accident is all that you know. But you did know that Perpetua had been captured by a creature from the darkness between stars known as Ashkagael, who is cropped up a couple of times both in this campaign and in the Oh Boy campaign, which you can go back and check out in the archives. So you had delved into the libraries and the restricted libraries under the Cathedral on Ravenna, and then taken a ship from there, crossed the stars through the jump gates into Phlegethon's space. And as you sort of approached it, it was this very heavily, very thick and heavy atmosphere. There is definitely it has sort of this mother of pearl luminescence to it. And when we left off, you guys were landing the ship, flying through this very turbulent atmosphere in search of Perpetua. You know that the terraforming station was left, at least according to the church records, and that should be where you'd be able to land, maybe get some vehicles that could take you out, and hopefully find where Perpetua is. Now, Perpetua, you were taken several weeks ago, and we will pick up with you here shortly. So, Runner, Cutter, Brother Gabriel, and Father Bell. The ship descends through the turbulent atmosphere, rocking back and forth. It reminds you of a slightly more controlled descent than you had at Antioch, but no less.
Star Trek, everyone. Star Trek.
Gotta go the opposite way.
You guys got to go in order, or else it just makes people sick to their stomachs. So you, as you break through the atmosphere, you can see. Well, you don't know what this planet was like beforehand, but you can see why the church has definitely made it off limits. You can see thick atmosphere sort of gives away to a heat-blasted landscape. There doesn't seem to be anything growing here. The hills are a dull, dun color, and the rivers that you can make out lie even darker against the earth than they do, than you would sort of expect, if that makes sense. You're not sure whether it's high iron content or what, but the rivers seem almost red as they flow across the planet towards lakes and seas of the same color. But there is a ping on your ship, a landing beacon that does still seem to be active here on the planet. And as you descend towards it, you see a large domed structure with 8 different rectangles sort of attached to it, kind of at the cardinal points, and then at, north, south, east, west, and then northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. But the dome does open up to accept your ship, and you can see that the building, it's just the top part of this dome that opens up, and you can see several other ships that seem to be mothballed here on the planet. And several minutes later, you land.
All right, people, lock and load.
Does this planet look like we need to be wearing our environmental suits?
It does. If you would like to give me a wits plus interface roll, you can check out the computers to see what the atmospheric content is out there.
Sure, wits and interface.
Yeah.
That's not bad. 9. And I rolled an 18.
Yeah, you basically, all you get is that it's highly toxic. You don't know why, though.
Okay. All right.
Could I get...
Put on your spacesuits.
I don't suppose there's an armored spacesuit on board.
Not from what you were able to pull before you arrived here.
Yeah, because we got environmental suits from the Hawkwoods.
Yes. Okay, suit up.
All right, as you guys start to pull on your suit, the dome seems to automatically retract above. And can I get everyone to give me a perception plus observe roll?
You said perception plus observe?
Yes, please.
I did not succeed.
I succeeded.
All right, Mark, do you have 6 VP to spend on this roll after you...
I do.
Excellent. Are you going to spend it?
Yes, I will.
You are not sure what it is, but you definitely, as the dome, as you kind of get out of the ship, strapping down the last bit of your suit, you can see out the door as the dome closes. There is something rather large and winged flying about. And if only, I mean, Perpetua is probably the best person to figure out what that was, but you're not...
Does it look like a big raven or crow?
Too far away to see, but it is large and it is winged.
I will point that out to Hunter. Just before it closed, there was a large beast flying
To Runner?
southeast. Yes.
Yeah, I also made my roll. So if I spend 6, I'll have seen it.
You will.
If I spend more, do I get any more information on it?
No.
Okay.
However, if you want to spend more, I will give you more information about the area you are in.
Okay. I'll spend 2 more.
All right, so as you look around, several lights flicker as if they're trying to turn on. 3 of them pop and spark hazardously as they eventually just then die out, go from a bright light to sort of this like almost cherry red kind of glow as the protective shielding shatters and sparks fly everywhere. But there are 3 lights in here, so it's pretty easy to sort of see around. You can see there are 2 lifts up here. There's probably room for another 3 or 4 more ships of the same size that you had. And as you look around, you can see laid out on the ground is Perpetua.
Oh, good. With the 2 that I spent, do I smell anything rotted?
You are in a environmentally sealed spacesuit. So the real question is how rotten do you smell?
A lady doesn't answer that.
Well, then a lady should know what she smells in her spacesuit.
Hey,
Is Perpetua
I feel like this took a turn.
staying there?
She's just laying there, no spacesuit, just sort of laying out on the ground.
I run back in the ship and grab another suit.
Okay.
I will go over to her.
I will ready my weapons. I don't like the looks of this place. Perpetua's all stressed out in a suspicious manner.
What do you do, runner?
I will use the squawker on my suit to see if she has any vitals.
So the squawker is just a communications device.
I was hoping. It's like maybe I can say this confidently enough. Well, then I pull out my other clearly useful device that allows me to see if she's alive.
You can give me a perception plus remedy roll to kind of see what's up with her.
I picture her taking her squawker speaker and put it near Perpetua's head and then yell, "Are you okay?" And if she doesn't move, she's dead. You know?
That is a possibility.
As long as we behead her before we bury her.
Alright. I did not make it.
You don't know what's wrong with her, but she is definitely lying there. You can see the rise and fall of her chest. You can see kind of the breath from the colder air here in the dome. Father Bell, what are you doing? Everyone else is running around preparing to chop her head off.
Yeah. Well, I will approach Runner and Perpetua, and I will try to activate Second Sight in order to see if there are any occult forces acting upon Perpetua.
All right, go ahead and give me the roll.
All right. Yes, that is a success. I needed a 12. I rolled a 7. The resistance is hard, so I have to spend 4. It's hard.
What is the name of this one again, Father Bell?
This is Second Sight. So I can see any traces of dark corruption in a target's soul. So things like the psychic's urge can reveal the presence of demonic influence, allowing you to see dark forms hovering near something. It confers the ability to see all the broad occult forces at work in a given scene.
Man, this priest class really knows how to break the GM fourth wall, doesn't it?
Let's see. Presence of demonic influence, allowing you to see their dark forms hovering near an antinomus or someone who is possessed. Likewise. All right. You do not detect any demonic forces in or about Perpetua.
Okay.
She seems to be unconscious at this point.
Okay.
You should check again when I'm awake, though, okay?
What? Did somebody say something?
The clue will be when she drives a dagger into your heart repeatedly, and you're like, I should check her and see if she's possessed.
I've got it.
Can I lift up her eyelid?
Eyes seem rolled up in the back of her head. And it's really hard because you've got like a Varoxian-sized glove on, so it's like... Yeah, you're like, why is it not opening her eye?
Why are you trying to take the skin off of Perpetua's skull, Hunter? Runner?
I'm not. Also, my name is not Hunter. It is Runner.
Runner. I know. Mark!
It's on the screen.
The chat is currently deciding what kind of things Brother Gabriel can make a bullet out of. Crow feathers, radioactive obsidian crow feathers.
I'm definitely keeping an eye out.
Also, one other point of information: is our pilot still Bran, or did they give us some
Nope,
other
it's still
hot
Bran.
person?
Nope.
Okay.
Bran is still on the ship.
Okay. Well, he knows how to stay on the ship
Yeah.
and hopefully stay safe.
I tell you what his story is, but literally anyone has a better story than Bran. No? Okay. Sorry.
What's
soon.
name?
All right, so she seems to be free of demonic influence. Brother Gabriel, you said you're sort of looking out. Why don't you give me a perception plus observe roll? Cutter, you come back with a suit.
Yep.
Perception plus observe.
Runner, will you help me put this on her?
Yeah.
Can
Can you
Spend a
also
weird point on this.
check to see why she's
No.
unconscious?
Oh wait, hold on. I spent a weird point. Hold on. Still no.
There are some things that Brother Gabriel is really good at. Crafting bullets out of exotic.
we can take her back on the ship and reestablish the atmosphere and then check her out. But I think it's the lack of oxygen that's why we have suits on. Might be just enough for her to live, but
Okay.
unconscious.
Yeah. We'll put her in the suit.
What do our tricorders say regarding the atmosphere?
Your bicorders, legally distinct.
Oh.
Your suits are telling you that the atmosphere in here is not toxic. There is some sort of atmosphere here in the terraforming station, which what you realized from your research, they said that the terraforming station was probably the safest place on the planet.
All right. So does somebody have like when I was joining the monastery, we had these big syringes full of just pure adrenaline. And, like if training got a little out of hand, you could just jam one right into somebody's heart and start them right up again.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you, humans?
Can I try a remedy to see what's wrong with her?
They called it Monastery Red Bull. Go ahead and give me a remedy roll.
It gives your heart wings.
That's right. As it bursts from your chest and goes flying across the room.
I got 8 out of 13, so I succeed.
Okay.
And I will spend all 8.
All right. She is unconscious, but there's nothing that you can see that would necessarily prevent her from waking up.
Okay. Well, since we don't have adrenaline, Brother Gabriel, maybe a syringe of your blood. That should get her going.
You have to.
Terrible idea.
I'm not sure we're the same blood type.
Perpetua, I'm
Otherwise,
so sorry.
work.
If she wasn't before, I think she's screaming in her heart now. But anyway.
I'm going to see if I have anything to be useful here, but I don't think I do, so.
All right, so we put the suit on her at least.
All right, do we just, does one of us carry her and then we keep looking?
Well, we turned her oxygen on.
Yeah, turn the oxygen on and put it in.
Just the act of pulling a suit on her is enough to wake her up.
Oh.
Perpetua, you awaken to be being stuffed into a spacesuit.
Like, poked at her face. That didn't wake her up? Alright, whatever.
This is like typical, like, players was like, here's a door. Oh, it must be trapped. I want to seduce the door. I would like to inject the door with a syringe full of adrenaline. Just open the flipping...
So, Perpetua, you have no clue how you got here. The last you remember was standing in front of the altar. But also give me a will plus resolve roll.
Resolve?
Yeah.
Where's
Or sorry,
resolve?
focus.
Thank you. You're playing too many games.
You know. No such thing. No such
No
thing.
such. Well, I do not succeed.
All right.
You not succeed by a lot, or
Oh, I did not succeed by 1.
oh, but then
I think if we've learned anything from running this game is always have a priest.
100% of the time.
Like 100% of the time.
I think you now succeeded. Anyway, I changed the result by 2, so you go from 1 over to 1 under.
Okay, I succeed with a 7.
All right. The more you spend, the more you will remember.
So if I spend all 7,
You can spend all 7.
okay, great.
So you definitely have a vision as you wake up, like when you close your eyes. You remember being suspended in a room that is very strangely lit. You don't remember what, like, it wasn't like the glow of a lamp. It wasn't the glow of lights. It wasn't the flickering glow of fire, but it was sort of a slowly shifting light that kind of shifted and played on the floor and the walls in front of you. You don't necessarily remember what you were suspended by or how, but you do remember hearing sort of a sizzling, like an intermittent sizzling noise, and the sound of almost wet footsteps as they sort of walked behind you. And then blinding pain and waking up here.
And your left eye hurts for some reason. Does anyone else feel like this is a trap? Because she's right here and wanted us to follow him here just so we could open some secret coded vault just to steal the information.
Mark, I think your paranoia is following you from one game to the other.
Hey, before we go any further, am I still injured from the last time I was here?
No, in fact, you feel... you don't feel as if, like you don't feel any wounds, you don't feel any pain.
That's suspicious also, but okay. I'm gonna take it.
Perpetua, you're awake. None of these other idiots are talking to you, so I will.
Oh, okay.
Even though I feel like of the 2 members of the group, we interact the least of all. We're kind of like Phoebe and Chandler. We don't really have like storylines together necessarily.
Yes,
Chandler?
the great...
Obviously, you're Chandler.
the great passion play of a group of... It was called Comrades. It was very popular. You have put her, you can kind of take over putting yourself in the suit at this point, Perpetua.
Yeah.
Runner, what are you doing? And Father Bell, I feel like I keep cycling around to that side of the screen.
Father Bell?
Well, I think pray. And I will try to get divine into what steps we can take. We rescue Perpetua here. Larger, more terrible thing going on that Ashkagael is attempting. So I'm trying to gain insight into what's happening and what steps we can to oppose that.
Okay.
And we'll see if it works. Some extra points to expand my possibility of success.
Runner, Father Bell is praying again. What are you doing?
I am going to see if she needs any help putting on the suit, the rest of it. But I agree with Cutter. This definitely feels like a trap.
Well, now we got her. Let's get back on the ship and leave. No?
I mean, yes, that would be the smart thing to do. I'm going to call over to Bran, our dear pilot friend, and ask him if he sees anything on any of the ship's sensors. Because we found Perpetua, and I don't like the feeling of this.
Give me a second. And you can hear buttons being typed, and then there's a bit of static over the comms. At least it sounds like static at first, Runner, and then you can definitely hear the sound of like this rustling noise, and then this low gurgling sound coming from the other side of the comms.
I'm running to the ship.
All right, you just see Runner take off like a bolt across, running up.
I mean, they can all hear this, correct?
You didn't do it.
Everybody's...
No, you called Bran. Bran just
Yeah.
responded to you. It wasn't a broad
a group
channel.
thing? Okay, if it's not a group thing, then I'm going to call back and say she's on the ship.
I try to keep pace with Runner and fail miserably.
That's because she has 96 billion legs. All right, so Runner, you go tearing off. Cutter takes off after her. Perpetua, you're watching all of this.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit dazed.
As you get up on the ship, Runner, you definitely kind of over the squawk, or that gurgling noise takes on kind of a quiet sobbing sound. And as you kind of stop at the bulkhead doorway, and you can see Bran is kind of sitting forward. There are 6 feathers sort of purposefully arrayed around his hand that has kind of fallen forward onto the console, and it looks as if he has been attacked by a murder of crows or a parliament of ravens. He is his head, his face, and his arms that are exposed have been shredded.
What about a yunta of grackles?
So he is dead?
He does. He is. You can still hear. He is softly whimpering and.
Okay. Is there a med bay on the ship?
There is a med bay on the ship. It is fairly simple, but or not simple. It is fairly unsophisticated. But it does have a supply of sedatives, and if need be, you could even put him in stasis.
Okay, I'm going to leap to him and begin to get him out and take him to the med bay and see Cutter arrive at the door. Say he's been attacked. Where is... And then I'm going to call back over the squawker and I'll tell them Bran has been attacked. Get back to the ship. It is a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
All right. So what are you guys doing? You hear this over the squawkers.
I'm commuting.
What did you get
my,
on your roll there, Father Bell?
I bumped my number to 18, like 15, and the various costs for just the threshold, the that I can get. It says 6 VP offers profound leaps of logic, and I'm going to spend, because I had this, I'm going to spend 6.
All right. So what exactly are you looking for with this prayer?
I am looking for hints from the Pancreator, Prophet Zebulon, and Sandia, or whoever's not busy at this. insight into what we can do to stop Ashkagael's plan here on Poitathon.
So you definitely get the feeling that this is it is not her plan on the planet that you should be concerned about.
Okay.
It is her greater the greater terror that she plans to unleash throughout the known worlds. But you also know that there is right, things happen. It is not that time is cyclical, but certain patterns, certain symbols rise back to the surface, are subsumed through the river of time only to rise again. And so for the fact that Ashkagael's lair to be revealed so soon after you and the group encountering that saint that stood against her all those millennia ago, this is where Saint Beatrice came to confront this creature. You definitely get the feeling that leaving now is not the time for this confrontation grows swiftly closer. You have while Beatrice was never a combative saint, you do have a brother battle with you. You have yourself. You have Cutter and like the extra 68,000 hands that Runner can offer in this situation.
Up to 68,000, boys and girls.
That's just the hands, not the legs. Legs are different.
I should be able to do anything.
That's right.
Unfortunately, they're just butted at awkward places all over your body.
That's right. It's like that scene from that. Never mind. Now I know that everyone in the chat and in my game is wondering what I was about to reference.
No. I don't think we are.
I think I'm just going to leave it at that. And you have someone that obviously Ashkagael. Yes. If this is a trap, Perpetua is the bait. But bait works both ways.
Just as a point of technicality, bait usually doesn't work both ways. Like, I've never been fishing and be like, oh, stink, the fish caught me.
You've just not been ocean fishing, Richard.
No, but I have been fishing for walleye, which is pretty darn close.
Right?
Suckers will pull you in.
Okay, but we should regroup at least.
We need to do something to our pilot. So I will. If you get him in the med bay, I can do everything to him to try to help him.
Go ahead and give me the roll. So Perpetua, what are you and Runner doing? And Brother Gabriel and Perpetua, what are you doing? Father Bell has just finished his prayer. The other two are up on the ship.
I don't think I'm with Runner. She's on the ship, and I am.
You're with Brother
still trying to
Gabriel.
figure out where I am and what's going on.
What kind of facility is this? Like,
this is a terraforming station. So this was the monitoring station. This was the resupply station. You know that it sits on this large dome on a square sort of building. The dome opened up. That's where the ships came down, from space to bring the much needed goods and all of that things. You have not gone down into the actual terraforming building yet, and that's the building that also had the 8 almost tunnels that extended out from it.
I would like, is there terraforming equipment here?
No, this is the monitoring station. So the terraforming engines would have been placed and buried throughout the planet.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, can I just, I'm not going to get any, this is the wrong character to examine the monitoring equipment.
That would be every other character that you've ever played in one of my games.
Exactly. This very, very disappointing. I would like to just, I want to take inventory. I want to take inventory of exits.
Okay.
I'm going to take inventory of cover, strategic holding points. If this is a trap, I want to approach it from the standpoint of if I were setting a trap for someone, here's how.
How you would do it? Yeah.
And I definitely want to look for.
Give me a wits plus fight roll.
You need a weird point.
Okay.
Or wits plus
No,
shoot as well would work.
All right. Either one of those is fine. It's the same. So here we go. All right. Well, I made it with a natural 1. It's not great, but
How many points would you like to spend on this?
yeah. I'll spend 4.
All right, that's the number that I had just written down. As you look around, yeah, if there's a trap here, you see the 3 mothballed ships. One of them could get you back into space if needed. The other 2 are sort of long-range atmospheric shuttles. There are no other crates here or anything like that. You see the 2 lifts. You do see 2 stairwells and a set of controls on the south side of the dome. But if this is the trap, it's not here. It's somewhere else. This is sort of that safe zone right in the middle. Like if you were to lay out a bear trap or something, right? This Perpetua may be the bait on the pressure plate, but this isn't where it's going to spring.
All right, Perpetua, what do you remember? What are we missing?
So as I'm looking around the room, is the light shifting where we are now?
No, these lights look pretty normal. These lights look what you are used to. What the lights in the cavern, and again, you definitely know you were in a cavern somewhere. It is not this.
Okay. So I tell Brother Gabriel what I remember. I remember the shifting lights, and I remember the sound of footsteps and pain, and that's it. And we're surrounded by hallways pretty much.
No, you're in a large dome. Lifts that head down and stairs as well.
When I have the chance, I do have some things to share with Perpetua.
I'm all ears.
Well, because I got to examine and memorize the map of the survey and terraforming team, and some of the last visitors to this planet before they pulled up stakes. And there's a terrifying basalt castle off in the distance that was last visited by an environmental crawler that I think might still be here. And I'll try and describe everything that I can recall from the survey maps and facility maps that I studied in the library on Ravenna, to give her a sense of at least what it looked like hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the floor beneath you did look like more like worked stone, and it did have sort of the when he describes what the stone looked like, sort of this grayish black block. That sort of sounds like where you were at.
Okay.
So the confrontation and the trap is almost certainly in the Black Citadel.
And so you guys came in here, and so how far away are we from the Black Citadel?
You know, it is about 40 kilometers away from this facility.
And so I believe that they knocked me out in some fashion before they brought me here.
You don't know how you got here. Cutter, what did you get?
I got 15 out of 16, and I will spend them all on him, because that's all I can do with anyway.
So you managed to make him comfortable and sort of reduce the mangled state. You have not seen anyone injured. Like, I mean, aside from the pervasiveness and the depth of the wounds, you would assume that Bran had tried to hug a frag grenade, except for the fact that there is no damage anywhere else around him. Sort of right before you. Right before you put him under and put him to sleep, he kind of reaches up and grabs you by the neck, his hand just slick with blood. You can feel it like sticky on your skin. And he's like, she's not here. She's not here. She's gone. She's gone.
Was Runner in the room with me?
Yes, I am.
You heard that, right?
Yeah. Whether or not he's talking about Perpetua or Ashkagael is debatable, but I don't think we're going to find the answers here. Where's the rest of the group? We need to make a plan. Where are they?
Outside. He's resting comfortably now. I don't know how long before he'll be able to fly again, but I think he's done with for now.
So let's seal up the ship in an attempt to keep him safe. And go make a plan, because whatever's going to happen, it looks like she wants a fight.
At this point, you can feel you can feel a tremor sort of kind of rumble up through the foundations. One of the ships, one of the landing pylons, which has stood for centuries, sort of buckles under the weight, and in a loud screech, kind of the metal shreds, and one of the atmospheric shuttles just sort of takes a nosedive onto the docking platform's floor.
Okay, so the question is, do we fly our ship somewhere, or do we get a different ship and fly? I think we fly our ship somewhere, because this is dangerous to leave it here. All right, where's the group?
They're still outside.
Outside.
And they just stood there and watched.
Yeah, what are you three doing out there as the shuttle? I mean, the shuttle just, everything rumbles. You guys do the floor sort of jumps a bit as if the entirety of the station was grabbed and shaken by two giant hands. What are the three of you doing?
Do I see any downstairs entrances, cave entrances?
There are the two lifts that would take you down into the terraforming station proper, and there are the two stairwells that you saw as well.
That's right. I think we should go down.
I think we should fly to the castle.
Yeah. If you guys are standing around outside, I'm going to call out to you guys.
I'll pick myself up off the ground and I'll go where Runner tells me to go.
I don't think we should be staying here.
I mean, I think the only purpose to go down is to do something to the terraforming machine, either to turn it off or do something to like destroy the planet permanently. But I think we need to go confront her at the castle, if that's what. Richard
has been dying to blow up a planet in a game, basically, as long as I've known him. So,
I mean, once you do it the first time, like you just have that rush. Nothing else quite feels that same feeling as the destruction of an entire species.
Yeah.
It's the gamer version of a drug, okay?
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. Well, the castle's fine. In my experience, nasties like these, they like dark places and creepy places. So, I think we need to head somewhere dark or somewhere creepy. Preferably dark and creepy.
Be
Sounds
sure
like-
the basalt castle is going to fit the bill.
So here's the real question. Who's flying the ship?
I've got 4 in pilot.
At this time, my old character could pilot. This one just shoots things.
Yeah. But hey, he is enjoying that time on that upstate planet of his. All right, Perpetua, or sorry, Runner. So you guys reboard the ship.
I mean, unless Brother Gabriel is dead set on descending in a building that is collapsing, in which case I will leave him behind.
No, that's fine. Is the building actually collapsing?
No, it's just the. Well, you don't know. You just know that the whole thing shook and rumbled, and the lights flickered.
And you said something collapsed.
One of the ships.
Okay.
There were 3 other ships that were mothballed.
Mhm.
One of them collapsed.
Okay. I mean, Brother Gabriel, do you really want to descend?
If you guys think the castle is more likely, we could always come back here.
Okay. We'll put this on our to-do list.
I get a sticky and put it on the console.
Return to terraforming station.
Blow up planet.
When you put it on there, it sort of Bran's blood kind of just soaks and sticks the sticky note, even like adheres it even more. All right, so Runner, you're taking off into the atmosphere.
I am.
This is going to be a very difficult task, as the atmosphere is turbulent. It is.
Did we see? Did we already? The rest of us are outside. Did we already see Bryn?
No, you guys stayed outside.
Yeah, no,
So, like,
only Cutter and Runner saw Bran.
So we come back inside and like he's all like,
When you pass the med bay, he is strapped down. He has like healing gel kind of all over his face. He's hooked up to the IV.
yeah, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure that because I feel like we would react to this. Like I'd be like, Runner, what did you do? You know,
Oh my
crewmates
gosh.
don't count.
Clearly, do not listen to me. I said Bran has been attacked. And I show
Yeah,
him
but-
the 6 raven feathers.
I didn't
that were
realize
left
he's
around
been
him.
like chewed to pieces. Do you think
Great.
that's a sign that we should stay here?
Question, Runner. Do these smell the same as the other feathers? Remember you smelled her before? Do they smell the same?
Shove
We
them up
have
my nose.
We have 5 feathers now.
I have 6.
You just snorted one.
Okay, true. I just snorted one.
Runner did a line of feathers off of the bloody console, and yes, it does. Strangely
Right
enough,
there.
it does smell like. Definitely has that coppery scent, and that faint undertone of rotting meat.
Yeah, it's her.
While we're taking off, I'm going to. I would like to invoke a right.
Okay.
Try and protect us against potential disaster. It's celestial alignments. My
Okay.
ability to see the strands of fate and bend them. And I crit.
Nice. So, what does that do for you? Aside from generating a weird point and a ton of VP for you.
Yeah. It means, I guess, that I don't have to spend the points on the resistance, which was easy. Otherwise, it just generates a die that I can use to substitute in if somebody needs to
Reroll.
re-roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Runner, do you have a weird point for flying?
I do have a weird point. I'm still waiting to hear what I need to roll. I know it's a hard task. But then Brother Gabriel was shocked by all the blood. Which is fair. Very fair.
Or perhaps the one person who should not be shocked by the sight of a lot of blood?
I'm not shocked by the blood. I'm shocked by the context of the blood.
Would it help you to be inspired with some victory points?
I just surged, so I got lots of victory points.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
I'm just still.
So, Runner, it is going to be you will not know how hard of a task it is till you sort of head out into it. It is between the high velocity winds, the thicker atmosphere, and other things, trying to get this ship from one point to the other. Go ahead and give me your roll, and let's see what happens.
What is my roll?
It will be a wits plus.
Okay.
A wits plus piloting roll.
Question: is there a gun turret in the ship?
Not on this one.
Okay.
9. All right, my target number is 19, and I have a weird point.
Just out of curiosity, what capabilities do you have for piloting ships?
I have shipboard operations.
All right, that'll work.
Okay. All right, I got 13, so I'm successful.
13 out of... Okay, so you're successful?
19. Yeah.
All right.
I surged and threw all my VP at it.
All right, so you're in the cockpit piloting the ship. What is everyone else doing?
Strapped in, just in case.
Perpetua, where
Fair.
are you?
Put my helmet on.
I think that I have sat down as quickly as possible, so I walked onto the ship and sat down immediately.
Okay.
I'll be riding near the hatch, kind of paratrooper style, like, just like holding on to something.
All right, so you and Perpetua are sort of near each other. Father Bell, where are you?
I'm up in the with Runner.
All right, so the three of you are up, strapped in the cockpit, and the two of you are sort of at the back of the ship. Excellent.
Although I'm rethinking my life choices there, but.
All right. Not long after you take off, it is not as smooth as Bran flying. You are bounced around. You are, if you are not strapped in. So basically, Brother Gabriel's mighty thews sort of keep him in place where he's supposed to be at. But the rest of you would be tossed around the cabin. You can see.
I haven't spent any VP for this yet.
Oh, how much are you spending?
Well, I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to turn it into a weird point because I can do that once per scene with my ingenious perk.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend 10.
All right. So, Runner, you get them to. It is not a basalt castle. You can see why, scared humans might refer to it as such. But it is this large outcropping of stone that sort of matches what Father Bell's reports told him. There are several large rock outcroppings that may look like spires, like towers, and you can see there is a large opening towards the bottom of it, where one of these red rivers, almost blood-like, sort of flows past the front of it. You're not entirely certain, but it does look like the top of the outcropping could support the ship.
Question.
Sure.
While we're flying there, I'm looking for that large flying beast.
You see several of them, Cutter.
I point them out.
They are far enough away that it takes you a while to sort of start gauging distances on the planet, right? There's not a lot of mountains here. There's not a lot of landscape to sort of gauge the distance. But your guess is that they are at least as large as the ship that you are in. And there are...
Does one of us need to get out on the wing and engage them in single combat?
You could do that. As you sort of study them, they have sort of this broad triangular shape to their their wings, and you can see that their body is sort of nestled up under it, like some sort of large moth, save for the fact that the wings are definitely flapping very slowly and leathery. And as you look, you can see that there are multiple multi-segmented limbs that are kind of tucked up underneath it. And
It's sort of a flying runner.
sort of a flying, like a flying Vorox, if you will.
Sure.
Becca's would be like, I'm never playing a Vorox again.
Everything
Not
with
more
more, everything with more than 4 limbs is identical to a Vorox. Like, I think.
Yeah, Brother Gabriel didn't get a lot of academia training at the monastery. But you can also see that they are, they don't seem to, they seem very purposeful in the fact that they are staying the same distance away from you. They do start to gain altitude very slowly above the ship.
I'm guessing Brother Gabriel studied at the Avesti Temple first, and that's where he got his basic education. Kind of.
This is where I did all my book learning, was at the Avesti Temple, since the Avesti have, according to the books, literally the lowest literacy rating in the known worlds.
Yeah. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, Vorox.
My favorite book as a child.
But they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will be standing by. Like, one of the things closes with the ship, and one of us needs to go climb out on the exterior of the ship.
I feel
and
like
take it out.
I just need to write a bunch of Temple of SD children's books, like, Greetings and Blasphemy.
I was going to say the very hungry Vorox.
That's right. If you can read this book, you are a heretic.
Heresy Moon.
Would you burn them on the plane?
That's right. So, Runner, where are you setting the ship down?
If the best place to set it down looks like on top of this castle, that is where I would place it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only place you described where I could set it down.
No, you could set it down in the plains outside of this rock outcropping. I said that the top of the outcropping looks like it is just large enough to support the ship.
Quick poll. Do you guys want to land on top, or do you guys want to walk up to it?
Can we kind of
I
just
think
hover
there's
up
zero
top
chance
to
that
see
she.
if there's an entrance up there? If
There's
there's no
zero
entrance, we might as well go down.
There are several small openings on the top of the rock outcropping.
I think there is zero chance that we are going to surprise the bad guys. So, I think, get as close as we can.
All right. We'll set it on top.
All right. Runner, you spent enough. You land on top of this thing.
Where's Perpetua?
In the back with Brother Gabriel.
She hasn't said much.
She really hasn't.
She doesn't know what's going on. I don't know what planet I'm on. I don't know what happened. The last thing I remember clearly was being in the temple, so.
Are you asking Phoebe?
Brother Gabriel of Perpetua, what are you doing? The
hard
ship lands and kind of comes to a.
Yeah, I'll just I'll saddle up with my my giant shotgun, and I will secure the landing zone.
All right. Perpetua, you see Gabriel prepares his shotgun. The ramp goes down, and he steps out. What do you do?
I look around and see what everybody else is doing.
Okay. All right. Up in the cockpit.
Once we're down, hit the quick release, get out, right in my gun, move to the back of the ship.
All right. So you're heading out there too?
Stop, take a look at Bran, make sure he's still good, didn't come loose from the rough ride.
Not that you can tell.
Okay. Just make sure like he didn't flop on the floor,
No, you strapped him down.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, nothing happened.
All right. So, Cutter, you and Gabriel head out of the back to sort of secure the landing zone. Is that what I'm understanding?
Sure,
All right.
I'll go out. Take a knee.
All right. What little light there is on this planet through the sulfurous clouds and the lightning that sort of plays along the underside of them, you see one of these massive creatures diving right towards the ship, right towards you.
I see that.
Yeah, the two of you. You're the ones outside the ship.
Do I have time to run back in the ship?
I will raise my shotgun and prepare to fire if it gets close and or looks hostile.
It is diving, and you can see its legs extend with multiple talons that kind of reach out to rake the ship. Cutter, you can attempt to give me a run into the ship. I'm going to need a dexterity plus vigor roll from you.
It was said just in jest. Like, oh, I will also raise the gun and
All right.
fire
All right.
first.
As soon as it gets close, I'm just gonna unload the gambling shotgun into its.
Give me the unloads. The three of you inside the ship hear the sounds of automatic fire going out behind the ship.
All right. I'm going to search.
I was going to hit it when it comes into the longer range, so I'll use my perception. So
Okay.
somewhere in the 120 range.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend 3 on this.
I'll have brought Father Bell back to Perpetua and ask if Perpetua's okay.
I
So
think so.
Hit.
You're so
Well.
different as Perpetua than you are at Edith. It always throws me off. You're a great role player, Lily. I'm just saying it throws me off.
Thank you.
Is she okay, Father Bell?
All right. So I hit. I'm trying to figure out how much damage I do.
I can.
Well, we got to overcome its resistance.
With your Perpetua, I look beyond the veil to see if there are forces acting.
You didn't see any forces acting on Perpetua.
Yeah. Well, that's going to use my other vision. See if there's something on a different wavelength.
You can open your third eye.
Something like.
All right, go ahead and give me that roll. Brother Gabriel, what did you get? Carter, what did you get? How much are you spending to overcome the resistance of this massive creature?
I got a 16. I'll spend 10 to overcome its resistance.
All right, that'll overcome it.
Okay, what is its resistance for future reference?
8.
Ah, cool. All right, so then I think my damage with the Gatling shotgun is 9, if I'm reading that right?
It is. How much do you want to spend to increase it?
Well, let's see here. I will spend. Let's see, I can only bank so much. 23, 13, 5. I'll spend 8 more
Okay.
for
So 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage.
All right. Yeah, there's just the sound of the Gatling shotgun as it pumps through through the shotgun shells at a high velocity. I mean, this is a massive gauge weapon. So, Cutter, what are you doing?
Soup's gonna be chunky tonight.
I succeeded with the 10. I'll spend the 8 to overcome its resistance. And damage is 2 to 1, right?
Yep.
You'll be very happy to note I rolled a natural 10 and got all excited. It's like, oh, it doesn't explode.
It doesn't explode. This isn't Torrid.
Disappointing.
Oh, but it was a success. So, 2 for 1. So I will spend another 10 points, which is 5, which will be 12 points of damage to it.
All right, so you've done a total of 25 points of damage to it. I will come back. So Cutter starts taking shots as the thing just enters its outer range. Gabriel's got to wait until it's a little closer. Father Bell, what did you get inside the...
I bumped my target number to 19 to 15, and then I spent the whole VP to activate all the bells and whistles of rending the veil of which to look at the soul, see her aura, its motion, and which gives me some idea of thoughts and emotions, state of mind.
All right. So you can see that although Perpetua seems calm on the surface, she seems very tormented inside, almost as if she is currently, like, if you didn't know any better, you would assume that she was being tortured. That's when the sound of gunfire reaches the three of you. And Runner, as you kind of look back down along the hall, you can see Gabriel with what I can only assume is an exultant look on his face as he is firing at something.
It's Brian Blessed as a Hawkman.
Cutter said he took a knee. You can see he's shooting at something. And the good news is the two of you rip through one of this thing's leathery wings. And it crashes fully onto the ship. And the ground beneath the ship falls. And briefly, the three of you feel this sense of weightlessness and vertigo as the ship crashes into the tor that you have landed on. And you watch as you can hear the sound as it impacts things below and then continues to impact and then continues to impact. And the creature kind of slithers and it rises up on its back legs, and you see these other legs sort of unfold, and its mouth sort of unhinges on its, it's got this center torso. The mouth unhinges, and it's coming right for you two. The snap hiss, I feel like I can't. It's legally distinct from a snap hiss.
It's actually more of a hiss and then a snap.
The ship gets pushed into the tor.
Mm-hmm.
The beast doesn't fall with it.
No, the beast does not. It hit it and kind of rolled off, and the ground sort of cracked beneath it. Runner, suddenly you see Sky, and I need from the three of you endurance plus vigor rolls.
The three of us being
Runner, Father Bell, and Perpetua.
Wait, what am I rolling?
Endurance plus vigor.
Thank you. Sorry. I got sidetracked.
Cutter and Brother Gabriel, as this thing sort of rears up to come charging at you, you also can see there are several sets of bloody footprints up here, as if someone was sort of walking around, pacing up here, maybe waiting, maybe marking out something. So, I'm going to start with the three people who have just fallen. You guys can hear the sound of the ship hitting other chambers, rock crashing beneath that, the ship sliding down. You can hear the shearing of metal as the antennae and the sensor dishes and even the back ramp of the ship is just ripped off, and finally you hit with a sickening crunch, and all of the glass comes flying back, lacerating Runner and Father Bell. What did you guys get on your rolls?
I was successful on my roll, and if I spend 8, can I have kind of shoved Father Bell and Perpetua into a corner and used my 4 arms and 2 legs to grab door hinges or different handles in order to kind of like cushion them into one section, if that makes sense, so that like they aren't flying all around the hallway, but I'm kind of trapping them.
Sure. So you want to spend how much to do this?
And I spent 8.
If you spend 8, you're going to spend a little bit more than 8. I'm going to say that's a 12 to do that.
Alright, I'll spend 12.
All right, so your goal is to sort of push them back and kind of take the brunt of this.
Yes.
All right, so Belle and Perpetua, what did you get on your rolls?
I did not succeed.
At all?
No.
And I bumped my target number to 18, and I rolled a 16. And I feel like if Runner was protecting, I would also try and I could to try to Perpetua now that she was lost.
All right.
Pass around.
So, how many are you going to spend? Runner has bought you the primary. So for you, if you want to spend 8, that'll let Perpetua take no damage. You will take some, and Runner will take the brunt.
How about if I spend 12?
Anything over is not going to get you anything.
I see.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I will spend and take it.
All right, so you take 4 points of damage from the glass that gets past Runner's furry and massive body.
Does my shield? Well, never mind. Although the shield threshold than me.
Runner, you are lacerated
Mm-hmm.
for 10 points of damage. Large chunks of glass. Your suit is shredded from this.
Okay.
Perpetua, you're fine.
Thank goodness.
As you look down, the ship seems to have caught on something. You can see the bit of a cliff that kind of caught the ship and shattered the cockpit's forward screen. And you can see that, Runner, had you not been kind of where you were at and buckled in, there is just this drop about 200 meters, and you can see this kind of orange fiery glow that is given off. It is not flames, but there is definitely sort of a lava pocket down there. And from where you're at, you can also see on the cliffside where you can see where you could, if you were to crawl out the front side of the ship, you could get to this little outcropping. There are a pair of bloody footprints. And all 3 of you can hear an hour of parting, an hour of meeting. You know not, neither grief nor rest. Not longing for a future, forgetting a past. But by the end of day, anguish will break and think on you and wash over you with woe. Meanwhile, hundreds of meters up in the air, Brother Gabriel and Cutter confront this thing. Brother Gabriel, I assume you're just going to interrupt me, so I'm going to say you get to go first. Ha! I mean, you don't get to interrupt anybody.
Okay.
You showed
I
him.
will.
I did. Point for
Is
the
it,
GM.
Is it in melee with me already?
No, you would have to charge across this outcropping.
Fine. I will draw my wire blade and charge across the outcropping.
Okay.
And I will eviscerate it with extreme prejudice.
Since it's a
Roll.
wire blade, instead of a snap piss, is it a boing?
No.
No, it is not. All
That's
right.
only a cartoon noise for when your eyes pop out of your head.
Oh, there's my melee. Okay.
Chat, do you see what I deal with? All the time.
To hit with a 16.
All right. So you hit with a
So-
16. The
Yes,
wire
I'll
blade
spend-
overcomes its natural resistance.
Oh, so I don't have to spend anything to overcome its
Nope.
resistance. Well, then, I'll spend all 16 of those on damage.
So what does that bring the total up to?
Wireblade does 8, so it's 16 points of damage.
All right, 16 points of damage.
Time to carve a turkey.
You stab into this thing, and the wire blade just rips effortlessly from it, and it sort of disgorges this putrescent, foul ichor. And as it hits your suit, you can see it's bubbling and starting to eat through it. I do need a dexterity plus vigor roll from you as you try to get out of the way of this spray.
Okay. Dexterity 7. Okay, all right. I'll spend 4 points. I'll spend 4 victory points to raise my target here to 19. I hit with 15.
All right, how much are you spending to get out of the way?
Well, I'll spend 10.
All right, so you spend 10, and you manage, you kind of get out of the way, but you're not really expecting this spray to hit, and it will still scorch your arm for 6 vitality.
Ouch. Wow. Okay.
Cutter, you are up. You just saw Brother Gabriel go charging across and slice this thing open. Its left wing is still dragging along the ground, twitching because you guys have just shredded it. It can't go anywhere but through you or off the mountainside. So,
I will now remember all of my abilities and use marksman to do a little bit more. So I'll spend a VP.
okay.
A couple of things. I'm going to, if I hit it, ignore some damage and do more damage and so on and so on. Do the math first. Let's see. I am shoot, and this is now dex because it's close. Yes, it's under 40 meters.
It is definitely under 40 meters. The entirety of the mountaintop is about 60 meters in 30 meters in radius.
I will move hopefully far enough away that it doesn't spray blood on me as it did on Brother Gabriel, since I saw it eating through his suit. Ow, that will hurt. So that's 16. I'm going to spend some points to bring it up to 19. Yeah, I succeeded with a 1.
Do you have the points to overcome its resistance?
Yeah, I still had stuff in my vault. It just didn't generate lots more. And because I did that, I'm going to ignore 2 ranks of its body resistance. So it's a 6 instead of 8
Okay.
with the march. So I will spend 6 there, leaving me 3. And I will do 8, and then the 3 burst is 1. So I do 9 more points. Chuck, chuck, chuck.
All right. 9 more points. Brother Gabriel, you are in melee combat with it, so please give me a dexterity plus vigor as Cutter starts lighting up the center of this thing, and each one bursts with this high pressure spew of this vitriolic ichor.
Natural 20 is always a critical failure, right?
It is.
Cool.
All right, so you will take on a natural 20.
I'm
you
not there.
You will take the 6 points of damage, but it sprays all over your
Can I
faceplate.
spend any victory points to?
No, it is a failure plus twist. Brother Gabriel, it hits your mask. Cutter, you can see the tendrils of either steam or acrid smoke as this stuff eats through Brother Gabriel's face mask. It stings your face. It's a natural 20, so permit me, if you will. When it finally bursts through, it kind of cuts through sort of the left side of your face, Brother Gabriel, and you can feel the skin sizzle and the eyeball. It's this thing's turn.
So am I blind?
You are you're not blind at this point, but you are handsomely scarred.
Cool.
You are mangled. You know. You see this thing rear up. Cutter and Gabriel really out of your right side. One, you notice the atmosphere almost immediately starts to overwhelm your rebreather. It feels like you are standing over a badly managed sensor, and where the stuff is actually starting to burn and char, and you can feel it kind of scarring in your lungs. Cutter, you and Gabriel both, you again take stock of the entrances that lead below ground and the giant thing. Gabriel, it rears back and it begins to swing at you.
What you got there, Jam?
I got a 19. So it basically does more damage when you kill it than when it tries to kill you. All of these limbs, it does that thing where its right wing kind of shoots out and flaps intimidating. All of its scything limbs sort of reach out, but they stop like millimeters from your face. You're not sure whether it is trying to kill you or putting on a display to impress you. Runner, Father Bell, and Perpetua, you are here in the bowels of this thing.
Because
What was that?
after the ritual mating dance, you know what comes next, Richard.
Fighting.
Runner, Father Bell, and Perpetua. So, Richard, you cannot see out of your left eye right now.
Cool.
What are you three doing?
Runner, how is are you able to breathe?
It is sulfurous down here. You can smell kind of the heat and the smell of this bubbling lava pit down below you. But it seems here on the inside of the mountain, at least, it's a little hard to breathe, but no more so than, say, most of us are native to Colorado. So, on a bad day where the air quality is, where something's been burning in large enough quantities that you can feel it when you breathe.
For those watching online, Jam is making a joke. There's no air in Colorado.
Listen, sea level Richard.
Plus.
1,
Zero
2,
air.
3 little nights. You can hear this sort of ringing throughout, like the inside of the ship. There is something inside the ship with you right now.
Okay, so I show them how to get out.
Okay. I did have a question.
Sure.
Based on my examination of Perpetua, did I believe that her experiencing inner torture was something like an occult state that she was under, or something else?
I don't want to answer that.
Well, I'll just spend the victory points then, and
you do feel like this torment and turmoil
mm-hmm.
is something that is definitely being inflicted upon her by Ashkagael.
Okay. Well, I would like to invoke, before I do anything else, Counter the Dark, because I'm first and foremost there to protect my my companions. And I have done this for Perpetua before. So as a primary action, I can speak authoritative words to mitigate a state from which a target is suffering, and then I spend BP and breach BP. That is a round that she is freed from the state. And what I say is, I study that I may light the match of the soul, and I spend 20 victory points
So that is
to
20
free her for
rounds that she is free. All right,
20,
Perpetua.
20 rounds.
You just saw Runner. Like, for you, you've been trapped sort of. It's you, but you have this compulsive weight that has been keeping you trapped. And you know there's this bifurcation of your sense of being. You are here in some physical way with Father Bell and Runner and Phoebe and Cutter. I mean, and Brother Gabriel, sorry. You are here with them. They have come to rescue you. And you are also down there, far below, suspended over that lava pit, listening to the footsteps of Ashkagael walk behind you, being tortured by this creature from the darkness between stars. And so you are free right now of all compulsions. And you know that if you just let go, you will be snapped back down to the one location. If you want to fight through it, understanding that it will continue to put stress and torture and torment on your very core identity of being, you can maintain your presence here and help Runner and Father Bell with whatever insight you may be able to glean from Ashkagael. Which would you prefer to do?
I will spend whatever you require me to spend to remain present.
Please give me either a will. So Perpetua is a very quiet and personal person. So I'm going to present this in a way, and you can roll as Perpetua would roll. Are you staying here? The skill is focus, but are you staying here by an active sheer will, or a trusting in the Pan Creator and his agent here, Father Bell? Is this a matter of faith, or is this a matter of resolve?
I think that it is a matter of resolve.
All right, give me the
Because
roll.
I do have faith in Father Bell, but I'm not. I need more time to think about faith in the Pan Creator.
Okay. Give me the
So we're
roll.
doing focus and will again.
Focus and will. Yes, focus and will.
All right. So I have a weird point that I would like to turn into VP. Oh, am I allowed to surge?
You are always allowed to surge if you have surges. Per the rules, I can't say no. No, I'm just kidding. You're always allowed to surge.
Okay, great.
Mark,
So-
when you lean to your left, you lean into Hrothgar's axe.
Yeah. So then I'm going to surge.
Okay.
And put those VP into my roll, because the last time I rolled focus and will, it didn't go so well.
And then are you going to use your weird point to roll favorably?
Yes. I like the way you think. So I succeed with an 11.
All right, so to remain here, the first time I have you make this roll is only 2.
Okay.
Bank the rest.
Yes.
All right, so Runner, you hear again. 1, 2, 3 little monkeys. Bright souls trapped in broken shells. So easy to break and to snap and to rend.
I show Father Bell and Perpetua how to get on the ledge, and then I go get Bran.
Yes.
Is the ledge where the footsteps are? The footprints?
Yes. Who is the first person going out?
I will go first.
Okay, so Perpetua, you sneak past Father Bell as Runner is sort of climbing over you, and you get out onto the ledge, and you can see that there is a large worked archway with 2 ravens facing each other that kind of form the top of the arch, and there is this this tunnel that extends from this landing that you are on, and the ship the ship shifts a bit and starts to slide a little bit towards the ledge. Father Bell, you're going next. I need you to give me a dexterity plus vigor roll.
Okay.
Runner, you're climbing up, hauling yourself up. You can see that like everything is vertical now on your ship. Bran is strapped to the table. Ivy pole hanging at a right angle to what is now the wall, and the bag kind of hanging down from it.
I get the bag, and I kind of like shove it in his shirt. And I unhook it from the pole, and then I start to unstrap him, and I'm going to throw him over my shoulder and climb down and out.
Then I'm going to need the dexterity plus vigor roll from you. Father Bell, what'd you get?
I failed. I needed a 6 and I rolled a 10.
Okay, so two things happen. Father Bell is kind of getting out, and the ship slips again. And instead of crawling out from under the ship, you have to move so you don't get cut in half by the edge of the hull. And you are now hanging off the edge over this hole that descends down. Runner, you can see and you can feel the ship is starting to shudder as it's beginning to slide off of the side.
Runner,
Okay.
since you have 6 million legs, you should make it a favorable roll, right?
I did use my weird point to make it a favorable roll.
Go
Because I
for
would
it.
like to get out of the ship alive with Bran. And I was successful.
You were successful?
I was.
All right, so to get out of the ship as it goes sliding off the edge of this thing will be 8 points.
Okay, I can do that. Did Father Bell make it?
He did not. He did not.
Can I pull him up
We will come
with
back.
one of my arms?
We will come back to you at the top of the round, Brother Gabriel and Cutter.
All right, I'm gonna jump on this thing's back. And now that I'm aware of when I cut it open, it bleeds acid. But also, Brother Gabriel is more aware than, let's say, most people are about the inner functionings of the circulatory system. Right, having been engaged in things that result in other things spraying blood everywhere many times in his life, I'd like to try to jump up on its back and slash at its neck in such a way that the spray will sort of go forward and not up in my face.
So it hits Cutter. No.
No, to just hit the ground in front of me. Gosh,
Okay.
darn.
I will basically increase. So this will be a resistance that you have to roll or that you have to overcome that is not armor.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Totally fine.
Breathing in kind of this acidic air, it's starting to kind of wear on you a little bit, but you think you've got extra sets of lungs. You're probably fine a lot longer than Cutter will be, but you know you need to find shelter soon.
Yeah. All right. I got a 14. So I'll spend. I'm gonna spend all 14 of that to overcome its resistance.
Oh wow. Okay. You
I didn't-
successfully do. The resistance to not get acid sprayed on you, it just increases it by 4. So
Oh well.
You're
Okay,
like-
so I overshot by 2.
Wasted 2.
go for
All
it.
right. And then I'm gonna spend 10 for bonus damage, so that'll get us to 13 points of damage.
All right, you guys have done 63 points of damage to this flying sulfuric moth. I assume you're going to have Cutter go next as opposed to have...
Yes.
No? Okay.
We will try once again.
All of these creatures in this universe that have multiple limbs that I can't emulate in any normal or reasonable fashion. JD, put it on our list to make me a suit that has, like, multiple limbs.
My sister has
attached
one.
to my puppet hands.
My sister has one.
Well, I'm made of questions.
So, he's my
It's
marksman.
got 4 extra arms.
6 is just doing math. I hit it. I'm just doing the math now to see.
I,
Six overcome. What?
this is not relevant to the game at all. The story there, JM, is that I in a game I was running for her, I had her character captured and tortured and had a bunch of cyborg arms added. And so she promptly
Made
made
the
a
suit.
costume
Yeah.
to wear to the game.
Nice.
It was the most legit thing. Anyway. Sorry, I'm sorry, Mark.
No, that's it. Mark, what'd you get?
Continue.
Okay, hit it with a 12, generate extra points, spend the 6 to overcome, and with my marksman, do the extra damage, lower its resistance. So altogether, I will do 18 points of damage. I'll spend a bunch to do the extra.
All right, what's our total there, Mark?
18.
18. So bringing the total to 81, you put bullets into this thing, and it sort of shudders and writhes and falls. Now, Brother Gabriel is on its back. Brother Gabriel, you can feel gravity starting to take over and kind of drag the thing back into the hole.
Cool. Is it looking pretty dead?
It does look completely dead.
Cool. I will look for somewhere there's oxygen I can breathe. Like, do I see anything?
Jump!
So you do notice that when you were on this thing's back, you're kind of running up its back as it's sliding back down into the hole. You make it off, but the air coming out of the mountain seemed, while not fresh, not poisonous.
Is it like the air coming out of the hole or the air further down?
Air further down, it seems
Gotcha,
to feel
gotcha.
like the air inside the creature is, that's not going out of my mind, is definitely going to, going inside should help protect you from this atmosphere.
Yeah, well, so let's do that.
All right. Cutter and Gabriel, you kind of head to one of these, so there are these smaller outcroppings on top, and you can see the carved archways kind of leading down into it. You can see what sort of looks like stairs, if stairs were designed for, not at right angles and not level. And you can see every so often like a single bloody footprint, and then another bloody footprint, and a little further on, another one. So as you head in,
Are the steps too short or too long for us?
yes.
And these bloody footprints aren't on every step. They're
No. They're spread out.
Are they like, let's say, Perpetua-sized footprints?
I mean, yeah, they would be Perpetua-sized footprints.
what's the roll to wake myself up from this nightmare?
It's called the you get an automatic save at the end of the stream,
Okay.
but then you have to
Cool.
automatically fail at the start of the next one. It's just it's the magic of streaming.
Okay.
Not Gabriel, Runner, Bell, Perpetua, the shuttle or your ship slides off in a screech of metal, this agonizing cry as the ship loses purchase on the stone outcropping and falls. I mean, it just rushes past you, Father Bell. What do you Perpetua, you and Runner just see these white knuckle hands gripping the edge of this stone outcropping.
I was going to say, can I notice that Father Bell is struggling and?
Oh
ready
yeah,
to help him?
you definitely notice him.
Okay. I mean, yes. So I go to help pull him up.
You and Runner each grab one arm, hefting him on, and as you do, this beast comes flying down past you, leaking a river of just this black fluid, and you can hear them like both impact within heartbeats of each other.
Look out
below. So what do you three do?
Well, I'm gonna set Bran down and make sure that he's alive.
He is, but he is breathing hard, and that mangled state is really sort of. This is not a good environment to sort of heal from that.
No, but leaving him on the ship would have been worse.
Yeah, right now he would just be incinerated on the ground.
He'd be out of pain.
Yeah, he would.
Okay. Are we going in?
I think that we need to see where the footsteps come from.
There's just
Okay.
the pair of them on this outcropping. Almost as if they appeared here to stand and look over the edge into the abyss.
They're pointing towards the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will pick up Bran and unholster a gun, and then unholster another gun.
You've got one hand free for the railing.
Yeah.
Do you guys are you trying to find a way down the side of the cavern?
We're next to an archway, right?
You are next to an archway.
With a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Let's do.
As the two of you enter from above, and two of you head down this hall, or three of you head down this hallway, that is where we're going to stop for tonight. And we will pick up in 2 weeks when I am back. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. The chat has been active tonight. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you for all of the kind words, all of the worry for the group. We will be back in 2 weeks with Fading Suns, but next week, you will not see some of our smiling faces, but you will definitely see Mark's little floating head will not be where it is normally. It will be where I am sitting normally, because Mark will be running the Dark Eye on Tuesday, Thursday, and Tuesday. The Dark Eye is sort of the premier Ulysses fantasy game. It's a major RPG out in Germany. It is in its 5th edition in the German language. The first official, I think, translation here in the U.S. There was one a while ago with Fan Pro. I'm not sure. This is like full color. It is gorgeous. It is, as it was once explained to me, it's fantasy. Done by people who actually have castles and haunted woods within the borders of their current country. So tune in for that. I will be off on vacation for the next 3 streaming days. I think Richard is going to enjoy a Thursday night away from the stream, as is Becca. But looking forward to watching The Dark Eye. Everybody have a wonderful week. Check out all the other great shows on Ulysses. There is Ulysses Con coming in 2 weeks from tomorrow, I believe. I will be the Thursday we're back. The next day the convention starts. There's going to be online panels. There's going to be online games. There's a con package that you can order that has a ton of great stuff in it. Go to the Ulysses website and check that out. Again, check on Game on Tabletop to check out the Tharcold Kickstarter. If you like the 4 Horsemen game for Torg, Tharcold has played a major role in this campaign. So it is essentially Mad Max meets Hellraiser, Techno Demons, plus post-apocalyptic Russia. Go check it out. And thank you to my crew. I appreciate you guys. I know this is way longer of a game than we initially planned on, but I hope you are enjoying the story that we are weaving together. Perpetua, thank you for playing Possessed for a bit. And Father Bell, curse you. Evan, you're a wonderful player, but Father Bell, curse you. We will see you in 2 weeks. I am Jamie the GM. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, have fun, play more games, and we will see you in 2 weeks.